Welcome to Up for Discussion. I'm Tod-Robberson, the editorial page editor of the Post-Dispatch. With me is Kevin-mcdermott, editorial writer and columnist. So, Kevin, neither rain nor sleet nor snow will stop these postmen from our appointed opinions. And let's start off with our little disagreement from last week. I dared to offer up the idea that maybe the Republicans would be magnanimous and give Joe Biden this one Supreme Court nomination, just be big and let them have it because they've already got their conservative majority. But I was clearly wrong. How was I?
Yeah, well, we don't even know who the nominee is yet, and already Republicans have come forward and started criticizing Biden because he's said he's going to fulfill his campaign promise to appoint a black woman to the bench. And they're screaming identity politics. You shouldn't be choosing someone or setting a parameter based on what social group they're from. This is an interesting argument from the Republicans because Ronald Reagan made history in 1980 by vowing to name a woman, unnamed woman, at first to the Supreme Court, and he ultimately did. Donald Trump made the same vow in the middle of his term, saying this vacancy will be filled by a woman, and then later choosing one. So, but there's a broader point here. Identity politics has always been part of the political process in this country. The only difference is the only relevant identity has been white males. If you weren't a white male, you simply weren't eligible in the eyes of society for any of these posts. So to be complaining about it now that the efforts are being made to even out some of that power seems a little disingenuous. And there's examples of Republicans engaging in this all over the place. Look at Missouri Governor Mike Parson this week, while complaining about Senate Republicans shooting down his public health nominee, mentions almost in passing, he says, I would never appoint somebody who doesn't have Christian values. Well, that right there is, in addition to probably being unconstitutional, is an expression of identity politics. So I think those complaints are not valid, and we can only imagine how much they're going to ramp it up once there's an actual nominee that they can dig into and start to examine.
Exactly, and we're just waiting for the rest of the nation to react to what Parson said. It would be as if he's saying, "I'm not going to allow a Muslim or a Jew or someone with Muslim or Jewish values to be a member of my cabinet or be appointed to any of my top posts." That would just be outrageous. If a U.S. president were to say that, it would never fly. So on the one hand, the Republicans on the national level are making a big commotion out of nothing, and we're just waiting for them to react to whatever it was that Parson had to say. Then also on Capitol Hill, we've got Josh Hawley, who has kind of put his foot into it once again. He is suggesting now that President Joe Biden just caved to the demands of Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, and go ahead and declare publicly that Ukraine will not be a member of NATO. And that's just essentially appeasement. Get Putin not to invade Ukraine by caving into him. And I just can't recall another moment in history where a prominent political figure like Hawley has suggested something as cowardly as this. Maybe it's just his lack of experience. The guy was in diapers when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. He might not understand what it was like to live during the Cold War, but those of us in an older generation understand, you do not placate or appease Russia. It's just dangerous politics every step of the way.
He seems to be placating and or appeasing Tucker Carlson at this point because he's really reflecting Carlson's view and not necessarily the view that's best for U.S. security.
Right. Well, the White House spokesperson Jen Psaki accused him of parroting Moscow and using digesting Moscow's misinformation and parroting their talking points, which is absolutely what Moscow wants. And Hawley suggests that really Europe is just a secondary theater in all of this. The main thing that we need to be worried about right now is China. Well, I would suggest that China does not have 100,000 plus troops on its border, getting ready to invade another sovereign country. Russia is. And that is a dire threat to European security, to global security. And if the West doesn't stand up to them, well, what's to stop them from doing it again? Well, we'll just have to wind up there. Thank you very much for joining us.